Hey everyone, Colbert here. So today we have news of a new 10x that's coming up tomorrow. So it's not active right now, guys. The portal has not, the beam is not activated there. Once that's activated, then we're gonna have the information here of all the champions that are gonna be available for the 10x. As I always say, the 10x are a bit of an issue in terms of you're gonna waste your shards if you try and summon for that specific champion. But in terms of how hard you really want to get that champion, how much you want to get that champion, like, then you might want to spend your shards. So I've got 26 ancients and 1 sacred. I don't plan on buying any shards for this 10x, but the champions that are offered for my account are comparatively gonna make a ton of difference in terms of these champions. So there's Vizier, Harvest Jack, Venus, Colt Brawler, Ursine, Ice Crusher, Stag Night, Madame Sirus, and Sirus. So guys, if you don't know already about these champions, all of them are great champions. I don't know about Ursine, Ice Crusher. All of the other ones are gonna make a significant difference to an account that's maybe a mid-game account. So if you do plan on opening your shards tomorrow, then it's not gonna be a bad idea. If you do happen to get lucky in summoning one of these, then it's gonna make a difference to your account. So let's go over and look at each of these champions specifically, and I'll tell you my opinion on them and why they're so good. First up, it's gonna be Vizier of Velis, guys. If you don't know already, Vizier is a legendary champion that extends the duration of debuffs on a target. If you don't know why this is so strong, imagine that like having a clan boss fight, and in that fight you've got Vizier extending the duration of everything on the boss, so the boss has no chance of, when he takes a turn, to remove those debuffs. So the duration keeps getting extended at a 35% chance. This goes up to 50% chance, guys. This is a fantastic way to extend the duration of all the debuffs that you already have placed on the boss. This means that the boss will keep having them, the sooner the better, will keep having them until the end of the fight, either when he kills you or at turn 50 when it's gonna kill you either way, regardless of having an unkillable setup or not. So Vizier is a fantastic champion for that clan boss. It really helps push teams for that 3 limit to the 2 key limit, and if you've got the champions and know how to build them, then you can even push for a 1 key with Vizier. So this is why he's extremely strong. And not just that, guys, he also has a great A2 and a great A3. This A2, of course, will apply a heal reduction debuff, which is not as beneficial on the clan boss, since it does not provide anything to you than just block one of your poisons. Also, the block buffs debuff also has an issue with the clan boss, but it does give you the option when you apply that to not having to worry about, you know, that attack up buff when the boss falls below 50%. So I think Vizier is a fantastic champion if you do happen to get him, and it helps all players who get him. Next up, guys, is Harvest Jack. If you don't know already, this champion was released during Halloween. He's a fantastic champion in faction wars, but also in the arena. I actually have 2 of these on my account. I wish I do not get him. It's gonna be very bad if I do happen to get him for the 3rd time, but we'll see, I guess, if I do get him or not. He's a fantastic champion. The reason is for all the crowd control that he provides. He places a True Fear with his A3, which basically what a True Fear does, it makes the enemy lose his turn and also make his skill go on cooldown. So once this is at 100% chance, then it's a fantastic way to crowd control the enemies in both arena, either the classic arena or the 3v3, but also for the faction wars. He also has a great A2, and he's an HP champion, so his damage is based off HP. I'm not sure about his multipliers, but his basic HP is really high, like 26.9k HP is quite high. And also, when attacked, decreases the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn. This is also great for the arena. Overall, another good champion to summon if you didn't happen to be playing during Halloween and didn't get him through that fusion. Venus is the next one that's offered during a 10x. We happen to have Venus in a ton of 10x before, and she's up there again. So Venus, fantastic champion. I have a guide on her already. I have showcased her many times in other videos that I do have on this channel, so you can check those out. But her A2 is like similar to Draco's, but instead she attacks all enemies. 75% chance of placing 60% decreased defense and 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. So she also attacks with this. And what Draco does, he does not attack a target when he applies this. So 100% chance when you max her out, and she's definitely worth maxing out when you get her. I think Chosen has her at a 10 out of 10. So fantastic champion. She applies an HP burn. Venus makes basically the spider makes it incredibly easy. You're gonna just destroy the spider when you do get her. She applies poisons or her A1, and also if you do happen to have few videos in there, which I do have. She also gains an extra skill, which is a remove buffs from all enemies, and then a 50% chance to grant an extra turn. Just overall fantastic champion. If you want to open your voids for her, I think this is the time to do it, but the voids, again, guys, 0.5% for a legendary. Next up, guys, we've got Occult Brawler. If you don't happen to have a good poisoner, if you don't have Frozen Banshee or any other poisoner, then Occult Brawler is going to be fantastic addition to your team because of his A1 and his passive. His A1 applies at a 50% chance, a 5% poison debuff, and then his passive also applies at a 70% chance to place a 5% poison debuff on a random enemy for 4 turns at the start of each turn. This is a fantastic passive, and it really makes your damage go way higher when you've got a good poisoner in that clan boss team. If you've got a poisoner that does not apply those 5% versions of the poisons, then your damage overall will be way lower than before. He also has a great A2 that gives him more damage when he uses it, since this attack ignores defense when you go 1 or more debuffs, and the more debuffs you have, the more things that this skill does. It also grants him an extra turn and also removes all debuffs from the champion after the attack. So overall, this is a nice A2, although you do not want him to be skilled up when you do happen to get him. But that's for a different video, for a guide video. Another good champion to get out of the 10x. Next up, guys, is Ursine Ice Crusher. This bear was a reward from the battle pass if you did happen to get it, but if you didn't, then you can have a chance to get this champion. I haven't played around with this champion at all. He does apply at a 10% chance block cooldown skills, which is very low chance, even at even at 30% when you book him out, but I don't think he's worth booking out. Overall, he's okay, but he would be way better if you have the other bear as well. I think both of them together are really good. But if you do happen to get him, then he should be really useful for your 3v3 teams and also the faction wars possibly. I haven't tried him out, so I'm not 100% on that. So next up, guys, Stag Night is the other one that's offered through the 10x. After that recent issues that we have with shards not having Stag Night in them and opening shards and not having Stag Night in the champion pool, it seems so at least. So yeah, Stag Night is going to be offered in the 10x. If you do happen to get him, check out my video that I released very recently on Stag Night. It's a guide on him. Fantastic champion. His A2, decreased defense debuff and a 50% decreased attack debuff. Just a great way to progress through the dungeons and also in the arena. He's going to make you go, he's going to help you go to dungeon 20 for all of them, and definitely a great addition to your team if you do not happen to have him already. Madame Sirus is the next one. This is another reason why I'm summoning possibly all my shards tomorrow when we have that 10x going, because Madame Sirus is one of the voids that I do not have already. I kept trying to summon her during 2x. I just didn't get any luck with her. She's one of the last few void epics that I really want. She is one of the top champions for arena and also great for the dungeons. I really want her for arena specifically because of how strong she is. She removes all buffs from all enemies, plays a 50% decreased attack debuff and a 60% decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 3 turns. This, when I find Madame Sirus against me when I use my Duchess, she just destroys anything that my Duchess does. She removes all the buffs that my Duchess applied, and then she also applies a 50% decreased attack debuff and decreased defense debuff on my team, and it basically wrecks me because I just can't do damage with my rotos when this happens. And she also has a great passive, so places a shield buff on this champion equal to 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn, and when attacked under this shield buff, 35% chance of placing a fear debuff on the attacker. Just fantastic skills. Her A2 is great as well, places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns if any buff is stolen, and it places a true fear debuff for 1 turn on enemies who have buffs stolen. I do not have a guide on her because I do not have her. I do know that she's fantastically strong in all those areas, so arena, 3v3, dungeons. I really want to get her, so I'm opening my voids tomorrow, like the few voids I have at least, and trying to get her. So it's a 10x. The chance to get a void is going to be 8% still. It's not going to change, but I still want to get her. And the last champion, guys, for that 10x is going to be Sylar. I think, yeah, we can stay here. So Sylar is right next to Madame Sirus. I have a video on her already. I do have this champion already. She's a fantastic crowd controller. She's got an A1, that's an attacks all enemies A1, her A2 as well, and her A3 decreases the temperature of all enemies by 40%. The way I've built her is using a stance set. She crowd controls enemies with her A3, decreases the temperature by 40%, which is huge. At the 4 turns cooldown, when you do have her at about 200 speed with a stun set, she just keeps getting turns, tries to stun everyone with the stun set, and also decreases the temperature of all enemies by 40% using that A3. Overall, fantastic champion. And in the faction crypts, she also gives the ally speed increase by 22%. I think, guys, this 10x is one of the best that we had so far in terms of my account, since Vizier and Madame Sirus are champions that I'm actively looking for when I open shards. I do not have many shards, so I don't really mind. We just had a sacred, a 2x for sacred, so I'm gonna open this one. It's only one. Maybe if I'm lucky, I get one more tomorrow through the clan boss. Void shards, I've got one shard. Maybe I'll buy a small pack if it appears. And ancient shards, just 26. I'm not actively looking for him in terms of I'm gonna buy shards for this. Since this 10x is gonna benefit my account, I'll go for it. And you guys should do the same if you're feeling lucky. If you don't, remember that the rates are still the same. They're not gonna change. You need to get, you know, that legendary lightning for you to have then that 10x chance to get the champion out of a legendary shard, legendary summon, and then that 8% chance for an epic. Once that epic glow comes, then that's when the 10x occurs, and that's when the 10x for, you know, that epic champion is gonna come. So overall, I'm looking for a Vizier and a Madame Sirus for my account. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.